Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So before I get into the negative, which I'm sure you saw the title already and you know what this is going to be about, I just want to say if you guys enjoy reseller content, I have been putting out videos about twice a week. So subscribe to this channel, give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I guess, I don't know if you can enjoy this kind of video, and leave me a comment with your experiences below. The last video I did, you guys told me a lot of your experiences. You also gave me other resellers that have been experiencing this. So it made me want to do a follow-up video. So with that being said, my Poshmark closet is spending under 30. A lot of you guys asked me that as well, and my Instagram is the same as this YouTube channel. I'll try to be better about linking those below. All of the housekeeping out of the way, I have my husband with me here today because I'm doing a follow-up on the ThredUp designer box. So if you haven't seen my unboxing video, I did that in the last video that's up here. And I let you guys know what I got in the $300 designer ThredUp box.
That is not the DIY ThredUp box, which is considerably less money.
Correct. So while I was going through that, I did notice some flaws, and a lot of you noted that I was very disappointed. So we're going to kind of explain that and explain the process. I do want to note, a few of you commented letting me know that rescue boxes are meant to have flaws and, you know, to kind of buyer beware. So I wanted to kind of explain why I'm a little bit disappointed. So ThredUp has two different designer boxes. One is a DIY designer box for $90, and then this new one is a $300 designer box. They are both rescue boxes, so I did understand that a few flaws were to be expected. However, there is no explanation on the website of the differences, so one would expect that with such a price disparity, the box that I received should have been better quality than the DIY, but upon watching a lot of unboxing videos and seeing what other people get, there really is no difference. So
no, it's a classic bait and switch. They say that it's, or they price it to show that it's better, but it's not actually better.
Right, so I wanted to show you what flaws we have found on these items so you can kind of understand the quality of items you might get if you decide to try this. I will say off the bat, I do not recommend this box. Other ThredUp rescue boxes, definitely recommend from what I've seen. I've only tried the denim myself, but other people have tried others and had good luck. But I do recommend the other ones. This one I do not recommend. So, all right, go ahead and show some items and what the flaws are.
So this is the DVF.
So this is the DVF Sun cover-up. It's very pretty, and it's very in season.
It's also silk.
And I do love DVF.
There is a tiny hole right on the seam.
Yeah, so there is a hole. I don't know if you can see that. My husband is confident he can fix it. This is silk though, so I'm gonna say that while he's confident, silk does not take sewing well, and it does show up a lot. So it is going to reduce the price.
Well, the only hope that I have is that it's right on the seam where they stitched the two pieces together. So
right, and that is minor. I also should say, as we're going through this, about 50% of the items were damaged. Maybe a little bit more than that, actually. Sad part is it's the more expensive items that were damaged.
So the next one was the Max Mara. And
we don't understand this flaw. I'm going to give you that.
So on the inside, there's some very...
Peculiar?
Slapdash is the best word I can use for the stitching.
All right, let's see if I can.
It's irregular, it's not neat, clean, and it looks like it was...
It's very hard to show on camera, but if you can see here, there is a piece of fabric that just, it does not belong. It's right here. It's really hard to show, but there's, yeah, there you go. There's some raw stitching. You can clearly tell it was either ripped or, we can't really tell because the interior seam looks professionally done, but I can promise you the rest of the stitching was not. And honestly, I don't know that is even fixable because you would need that material to fix it, and we don't know
how to do
that.
Other than putting in a cleaner stitch, there's not a whole lot to do, and it's on the interior. But
and even doing that, there's a piece missing, clearly.
So this is the Kate Spade.
Yeah.
So there are no flaws on the two-piece Kate Spade.
However,
they counted it as two items when it's a two-piece, one set.
Right. So this box was supposed to have 15 items in it, and this is counted as 2 items. Now, I mean, I guess we can all have different opinions on whether or not that should be, but I think we can all agree that if you only had one, the value would be dramatically reduced. And Kate Spade is a questionable, is it a designer brand? I love Kate Spade personally.
But it's more boutique rather than designer like Prada or Gucci.
Right. She's included in their name brand handbag box, so they call her name brand, not designer. So I don't know. That's a questionable one.
So this one is the satin dress.
Right. So this is the one when I unboxed it, I had said I don't know the brand. Now, I did have one of you guys actually reached out to me and kind of tried to help me out with it. So I did find out it is a designer in Australia. There doesn't seem to be any flaws. It doesn't have a high resale value, and this type of item won't probably do really well. They just don't tend to. But it is really pretty, and I do like red, so I'm not going to complain about that one.
So,
Prada. Okay, so this one has quite a story. So this Prada bag does have damage, but I wanted to say the positive. There is positive that came out of this bag. So one of you guys actually reached out to me interested in this bag, and I actually did get to do a transaction with you. It wasn't on the bag, but it was on something else, and I had a great conversation, and that was the first time for me of making a friend through YouTube.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. This bag also did sell within 3 hours. However, it did not sell at a Prada price because there's damage. So I will show you. I don't think I saw much damage. I had only told you about the little bit there, which is barely seeable. If you can see, the leather is damaged there. If you can see, the corners here are all scuffed up. And then there's like some weird
minor tiny
stains. So it's not horrible, but it's not a Prada bag that fetches a lot of money to begin with, and then it's damaged. So this
is C by Chloe.
C by Chloe. So when I opened this, I believe I said there wasn't any flaws because I don't think I saw them. I think the only thing I commented on was that it was C by Chloe and not Chloe, which really doesn't matter. However, it was stained. So we're gonna try to show a photo of the stain here because my husband, thankfully, got the stain out. This, I will say, is an example of a flaw we expected. Stains that can be removed, things that need Wonder Bomb, we expected.
The little bit of TLC that you need to put into the bag to make it look not quite new, but new-ish.
Right, so I wouldn't consider this a loss. It's just unfortunate that it's probably one of the only items that's going to get its full value.
So these are Stuart Weitzman.
Stuart Weitzman. So a few of you actually said you really liked them, so I was a little bit more encouraged. I'm not always encouraged with Stuart Weitzman because I haven't had good luck. The only problem with it, and it's going to be really hard to see on camera, is, oh, you can kind of see it. So the snake skin is actually raised, and in a lot of places on the actual shoe, it's raised too much, so it's flawed. And you can see it in multiple places on here. It's just kind of lifted up, and
I mean, it's fairly minor, but
it's fairly minor. I mean, the heel looks good. The bottom doesn't look too bad, but it is raised, and it's also an older Stuart Weitzman. So I mean, it's fine. There's nothing horrible with it, but reduces the value. So there's that.
Ferragamos.
Ferragamos, again, an older style Ferragamo. I didn't see anything horribly wrong. If you haven't noticed, there's still elastic bands, so I haven't done a ton with this. The only problem I saw is this right here.
There's a little bit of staining.
No. This lifting.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have to probably glue it down. There's also staining, as he mentioned, along there. So we'll probably be able to glue that down, hopefully, but I don't expect to get more than like $30 for that, given the style and the fact that there is, again, flaws.
Karl Lagerfeld.
Karl Lagerfeld. So there isn't really much wrong with these. There is obviously scuffing and scratches. It's really hard to see on camera because it's black, but there is scuffing and scratches. This is an item that I wouldn't necessarily call designer. I don't think it's going to have a high resale value, but they're cute, and if they were added into an overall good box, I'd be okay with those.
I mean, given the condition they're in, that's fine. You're going to be able to clean up the suede.
Right.
So I'm not worried about that.
Oh, don't do the worst one yet. Okay. So Prada. So I did mention this Prada wallet had damage when I opened it. My husband did try to fix this, but unfortunately, this is pretty much a lost cause. It's probably not going to get more than like $50 because
the edges are
basically destroyed.
Well, they're worn out.
Yeah.
The paint on the hardware is chipped, so we could try to color match and repaint it.
Yeah.
But
So I don't know how
There's a lot
much
of-
it's showing up, but it's not great. I mean, the interior is not horrible.
The
But
interior is fine, but the corners
it's
are...
all along the side. It's just scuffed up. It's damaged. It's not great. So sad because I was excited to see Prada.
I was excited to see that as well. But next is
Chloe.
Chloe.
Okay, so this is a brand that I was hoping to get. Sadly, these shoes I don't even think are sellable. My husband is going to try to fix them. However, if you can see, there is a huge gouge right there, and it's scratched all over the... I had said wood in my video, but my husband has kindly let me know that it is like a leather like
I think
overlay.
it's just layered bonded leather.
Right, but there's gouges almost everywhere and scratches, and it's just, they're in bad condition.
Yeah.
I did comps on these, and they were selling for like $30 in good condition, so I don't even know if they're sellable. My husband is going to attempt to kind of like glue them down, but again, the comps weren't high to begin with, so...
A little bit of glue, a little bit of Wonder Balm, they should look presentable.
Yeah, but again, maybe $20? Maybe? Now remember, 15 items for $300 means you pay 20 bucks per item, so keep that in mind. Okay, so these Chanel sunglasses. So I am not a designer expert. I think I mentioned that, but I don't know. But my first cause for concern is every Chanel sunglasses I saw had the CC on the side, and this has like a holographic Chanel. So I cannot validate that they are real. Also, the inside where it says Chanel has a C and an R, which doesn't seem normal. They don't feel super heavy. There is scratches on the lenses, not horrible, but I am not confident that these are real. So there's that. And then, even if they are real, I'm gonna have to buy a new case. Now, I'm gonna say just looking at the logo in here, also not confident. But look at the case. So, not great, would have to buy a new one. I did see that they are sold on Poshmark for a good price, like $10, $15, but it's pretty disgusting. Like, just pretty gross. So we're gonna have to do more trying to validate those. If I can't validate them, I might end up having to just keep them because I can't figure it out. But if you guys know anything about Chanel, please do let me know in the comments below because they might be one of my only hopes of getting out of this box. So yeah, would be great.
I'm inclined to think that they probably are real, just older, and the case is in horrible shape.
Now this is the last item. And this is the item that a lot of you guys messaged me and said, don't worry about all the flaws, you're gonna get out of it because of the Burberry. And I was so encouraged by that, and then I went to list it.
So first off, it's missing one of the front buttons.
Right, and the buttons say Burberry on it, so you can't just replace it.
So the interior button on that is also cracked.
Yep.
And has to be replaced. There are numerous different stains.
Yes, there are.
Now, I'm fairly confident that I can get the majority of those stains out.
Except for one.
I'm confident on that, but the biggest stain is in the shoulder piece. It looks like it's gotten water damage.
Yeah, and then...
So, if that wasn't bad enough...
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. The seam is popped on the inside of the jacket. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's all ripped and would require that we restitch it. So there we go. So it's going to take a lot of work before it could actually get listed, and you'd have to pray to God that you could find an actual Burberry replacement button.
Right, and I do want to say, I do know that Burberry trench coats are classic, so they will likely sell for something. It's just, with everything else, it's a bummer that none of these items seem to be something that you can just get full price for to make your money back. It's kind of disappointing. So, given all of that, I did reach out to ThredUp, and I have seen other resellers have reached out as well. Somebody that you might want to check out if you are looking for more information on this kind of thing is El Ducho Thrift. She did reach out as well and had a very similar experience that I did. Her request seemed to be that she wanted a full refund. Given that I was given some items that I felt I could fix, I just wanted something back. So I just wanted a credit even for part of the box or something.
You got what you wished for.
Yes. So on my first email, the response, and I'll put it on the screen, basically was, you ordered a rescue box and rescue boxes have flaws. So that is what it is. So I kind of left it alone for a day or two. I was angry and I didn't want to like say something I didn't mean. So I left it alone, and then I went to list the Burberry and I saw how much damage there was. Now I'd already sent them pictures of, I think it was the Chloe bag, the Chloe shoes, and the Prada wallet. So I'd already sent them those photos, and that's when they said, no, we don't care. So then I saw the Burberry and I sent them another email and I said, you know, I do understand that rescue boxes have flaws. However, I feel misled. I feel that it was false advertising because you do have two different levels of DIY boxes or rescue boxes. One was DIY, one was not. And you don't make it clear what the difference is. So the assumption, of course, would be that this would be better condition, and it's not. So she basically wrote back. Oh, and in that email, I did include the Burberry photos. She wrote back and she said, I understand your frustration. I'm going to reach out to the rescue team. It'll take about 48 hours and we will get back to you. So I waited. They sent me some weird form email basically saying I didn't respond to them, which, I mean, whatever. And then they finally got back to me today, a few hours ago.
Yep.
And they basically said, okay, so we looked at your photos and we decided that the Burberry, right, it's not worth it. You shouldn't have gotten that. So here's $20. Sorry, it's not what you were looking for. Literally said that. Sorry, it wasn't what you were looking for, but yeah, that's their resolution.
At this point, I'm of the opinion that you should contact PayPal and have PayPal say, go to hell, thread up.
Yeah, so he is very much he doesn't think that we should stand for this because this means that it's happening to others and it is misleading and is deceptive advertising. I always tend to be of the conservative nature of just kind of being like, okay, I learned my lesson. Let's never order it again. Let's let people know. But
well, I'm the one that's going to be expected to fix the majority of these items because you have neither the patience nor the skill to put, because you don't know how to sew.
Okay, this is fair. So
Also, I work in an industry where I would call this outright fraud and misrepresentation. I would go to prison for that. So
right. So regardless, I'm not sure exactly what the next step is going to be for us. I don't know if we're going to reach out to PayPal. I know, as I mentioned before, El Ducho Thrift did do so. So you can watch her interaction on that and, you know, see how you feel. But let us know what you think. What would you do in this situation? Would you reach out to PayPal or would you just take it as a lesson learned? At $300, it is a big loss, especially in a time where inventory is really hard to come by. Yeah. And at a time where you're kind of trying to put your resources where it's going to make the most value right now, because a lot of us are, you know, this is what we're depending on for income. I mean, I know I no longer have any other source of income, and I won't for a while because of everything going on.
I'm here, thankfully.
My husband thankfully does, but me personally, I don't. So $300 is a lot. So I'm sure that a lot of other resellers are in that boat. I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of what you're purchasing if you do get this. And again, I want to clarify, it's only the designer box that I have an issue with. I have done the Thread Up Done box. You can check out what I got. I would call that box a win.
Well, you're already out of it and you have like 10 pairs of jeans left.
Right. I only sold 3 items and I already paid it back. So I would call that box a win, and I will do a follow-up for you guys letting you know what I sold and how much it sold for. I don't think Thread Up as a business is bad. I just think what they're doing with this box is deceptive and wrong, and I think we do need to be speaking about it.
Well, it's not a bait and switch unless you bait and then switch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they are doing what a classic con would expect, but...
As you can see, he's not happy about this. So that's why I had him here.
We're going to be lucky to get out of this for what you paid.
Yeah, we really are, and we've been running the numbers, and it's going to be cut close. So hopefully this is informative for you guys, and I hope that it doesn't just bring you down. Make sure you stick around to the channel. There Sorry, my dog is walking around crazy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. There will be a much better video coming out next. We have a pre-recorded video where we're both in again.
Yep.
And I did an inventory swap with a friend of mine on Instagram. And it was great. And it was a much more positive video. So stick around for that. It's a fun time. And maybe we'll give you something fun that you can try with some of your other friends. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I will be back really soon.